welcome to today's meal prep video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to see today's video. And if you're new, welcome. I am Bethany Shanae, and my channel is dedicated to documenting my journey to get healthy mentally and physically. That includes losing over 120 pounds through diet and exercise naturally. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a nutritionist. This is never medical advice. I'm simply sharing my experience on my journey to get healthy and any tips or tricks I find along the way. So if you enjoyed this video or any other videos on my channel, or you're just curious to see if I finally get it right, please make sure you like and subscribe. I would love to have you. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are meal prepping this week as well. So let's jump into today's video. I have 3 recipes that I want to do. Last week, I really didn't eat all my meal prep. I still have most of those burger patties left. I'm actually gonna throw them back in the freezer because I think with this, it'll be enough food for the week. But I'll always have those burger patties in case I'm still hungry and tempted to break my diet. I can just nuke it in the microwave and be good. But for the 3 fresh meals that I want to make this week, I typically have only been eating 2 meals a day, and naturally intermittent fasting. I was not trying to intermittent fast. It just came about. I just stopped being hungry and started being able to pay attention to my hunger cues, and I wasn't hungry until between 12 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So considering I go to bed by 8 p.m., that means I'm only eating in an 8-hour window. So I only need to make 2 meals a day, but I want to make sure they're high in protein. So the 3 meals are going to be, I'm going to do beef and veggie scramble. I have some kale here. I'm going to use some of these zucchinis with the ground beef. And then I pulsed in my little chopper there 2 whole heads of garlic, and I will be using this across these 2 meals. So that'll be 1 meal. Ground beef, a little bit of tomato sauce, probably some green chilies, spices, herbs, you know. And then I'm gonna do a Mediterranean chicken zucchini bake. I was gonna do skewers, but then I realized I take them off the skewers to put them in the meal prep container anyway, so why would I waste the dish? So we're gonna do that Mediterranean, so lemons, garlic, I've got herbs that I'll be using, and then I'm gonna make a chicken salad just to keep in the fridge. I'll probably make 2 little Tupperwares of it to take to work and eat it with celery sticks instead of crackers. I also might use some pesto on the Mediterranean chicken. And then the horseradish, mustard, and mayonnaise will go in the chicken salad. So I'm going to use an app called Hyperlapse, which like time lapses the videos. So it'll just be speed through. You're just gonna see me cooking. You probably won't see a lot of my face until the end. And I will probably do a voiceover for that portion. So let's get right into it.
Hey y'all, I am so sorry I'm so late at doing this voiceover. Pardon my voice and my wheezy breathing. I am currently sick a few days after this video. But here I am. I'm cutting the zucchini into large chunks for the chicken Mediterranean bake. I wanted the zucchini to be a similar size to the chunks of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I just wanted it to cook evenly. I didn't want the zucchini to become mush by the time the chicken was fully cooked, but I wanted it to be fully cooked by the time the chicken was just barely finished cooking. I find if you're going to bake chicken breast for meal preps, it's best if you cook it like 2 to 3 minutes less than what it needs to be, and then let it rest, because it'll come to temperature, and that way you won't overcook it when you heat it up to eat it. So the zucchini and the chicken were cut into about 1-inch cubes. Each of my finger digits are about 1 inch, so I just use that to measure. Here I'm juicing 2 lemons and 2 limes. That's the citrus I had in my fridge, so I was using that for all the recipes. I use my little squeezy thing to try to hold back some of the seeds. It does not always work, so here I am. I transferred it into a small container and split it in half. For the dressing for the chicken and zucchini bake, I did 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is 2 teaspoons of oregano dried, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon and a half of onion powder, a tablespoon of Greek all-purpose seasoning, and probably about a teaspoon of meat tenderizing seasoning. And then I put 2 heaping tablespoons of that minced garlic that I had made before this video. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it all to coat. This was really the perfect amount of sauce for this bowl. I was afraid while I was stirring it, it wasn't going to turn out right. I was going to have to make more, but once I realized there was more sauce at the bottom, it came out perfect. So I'm putting it in a foil-lined and greased pan. I'm spreading it all out so it can hopefully be even. I put it in a 325-degree oven. It will end up cooking for an hour. Here I'm starting the Beefy Kale bake. I will never buy kale from the organics brand at Walmart again. I really like getting it from Target. I've never had an issue with their juicing kale, but this kale, I have to go through and pick off all the thick stems, and I just throw them away because this brand of kale had so much dirt in it, even though it says triple washed and ready to eat. So that's why I ended up in a towel. So I just finally chopped up the kale once I washed it thoroughly, and then I'm doing a smaller dice on some smaller zucchinis. I went ahead and I'm heating up a skillet that had about a tablespoon of bacon fat that was left over from the breakfast I had that morning. And then I'm going ahead and I'm breaking up 36 ounces of ground chuck that I got on sale at Walmart. I went ahead and started it around. I didn't salt it yet. I didn't season it yet. But here I'm adding the 2 tablespoons of garlic. I went ahead and added 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and I added a good amount of my Yellowstone seasoning that I always talk about. And then I topped it with the kale and zucchini mixture. And I'm just letting that cook down. I didn't end up adding the tomato sauce because it was just old and expired. So here I've minced up about 6 stalks of celery, and I've added 2 cans of drained chicken breasts. In this bowl, I'm adding about half a cup of mayonnaise, a couple tablespoons of pickle juice, 2 tablespoons of pickle relish, about a tablespoon of horseradish mustard, about a teaspoon of lemon juice, probably about half a tablespoon of ground dill. And then I also added a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder, of course, including the Yellowstone seasoning. It's a pretty good basic, regular chicken salad recipe. Here I'm just trying it because I realized I did not taste anything about the beef recipe while I was making it, so I figured I would need to try it before I recommend you guys give it a try. So here I was thinking it would make 5 meal preps, but it ended up being 4. I topped it off with some cheese because although the flavor was really good, it felt like if this is the only thing you're eating, it was missing something. So I added some cheese, and it came out really well. I went ahead and broke this chicken up into 4 meal preps. Now, I will say, if you look in the description box below, I have the macros, I have the recipes. Each of these meal containers for the chicken is 108 grams of protein. You can definitely break that down into 5 or 6 meal preps. If you have someone that's eating carbs, put it over rice, keto bread, cauli rice. It's a lot of protein. It was absolutely delicious. My coworkers tried some. It was really good, super popular. Here I am breaking out some of the chicken salad into 2-compartment meal containers with some chopped up washed celery.
All right, y'all, it has been an hour and 15 minutes exactly, and I have 12 meals meal prepped for my week. Now remember, I do only eat 2 meals a day. But as you see, they're super high protein. The main ingredient in both of these recipes is protein. It's either beef or chicken. This week I have these beef saute bowls. I don't know what to call these. I don't really know what kind of flavor palette to identify them with. Just delicious. As you saw, I used paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of lemon juice, my Yellowstone seasoning, and a little bit of the meat tenderizer seasoning, I believe. You guys saw in the video. I'm so focused on getting this done and relaxing for the rest of the day. I can't even fully remember what I put in everything. I will put the ingredients in the description box below. As you saw, it's not going to be exact measurements. I am not a big person on measuring. The only reason why I measured today was, I don't know, I had a feeling I should. And That way you guys can try replicating it, I guess. Next we have the Mediterranean chicken zucchini bowls. I have goat cheese and feta cheese that I think I'm going to pack with this. I don't typically like either of those cheeses hot per se, unless it's like on a burger or something more specific. So I think I'm gonna pack a little bit of those cheeses separately. And then I also have my chicken and celery salad with celery sticks to eat it with. This, how I seasoned the sauce that I poured in this chicken dish, I think would taste better in tuna salad, especially with all the dill, but it is still pretty good. It was a really cheap brand of chicken. I actually think we got it from a food bank during a hurricane. So the chicken isn't that great, but it's edible, it's high protein, it's lean. The chicken was before I put the mayonnaise in it, obviously. But yeah, I feel really good. I left half the chicken salad in my Tupperware in the fridge, as you guys saw. That way when I'm home, if I get snacky, I can just take a spoonful, or I still have a head of iceberg lettuce. I can make a little chicken wrap if I wanted to. I will probably leave half of these here. So I'll take 2 of each, the chicken and the beef, and then I'll take these 2 chickens to work. So yes, that'll be 6 meals, but I want to make sure I have options depending on what I feel like eating that day. Because if I don't feel like having Mediterranean, or if I'm not in a mayonnaise mood, I might be tempted to go get some fish at a restaurant, or you know what I mean? So I want to make sure I have variety, and that way I don't get palate fatigue, I think they call it. But yeah, I had a good time doing this. I'm really happy it came together in a little over an hour from start to finish. Probably a total of an hour and a half, realistically, from the last time I was talking to you. I put some triple cheddar from Walmart on these. I believe it's Vermont cheddar, mild cheddar, and sharp cheddar. Just because I felt like the flavor, it just needed something else. I didn't use the can of tomato sauce, which I'm glad, because actually that would have been more carbs. But I didn't use it because when I opened it, the top layer was like orange, and I don't know how long I've had that can of tomato sauce. Because you have to remember, I got a lot of stuff from storage, so it could have been in one of those boxes. So I just threw it out. But y'all, I'm really happy with this. Make sure you check down in the description box below. I'm gonna go ahead and track these in my Carb Manager app and put the macros for each dish down below, and the ingredients as well. So if you wanna give it a try, you let me know how it turns out for you. Of course, always season with your heart. Make it taste how you like it to taste. I like how all these taste because I'm the one eating them. But anyway, y'all, I think I'm just about to start rambling. So thank you guys so much for coming to see this week's meal prep video. I'm so grateful that I was able to record it all properly this time. Make sure you leave a comment down below and you hit that thumbs up for me. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post my weekly meal preps or bi-weekly grocery hauls, my weekly update, weigh-in videos as well. And then pretty soon I'll be getting back into my vlogs. So anyway, thank y'all so much for coming to see today's video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.